Hey everybody, welcome to the Wolf Pit. Today we're going to make a very bastardized version of beef stroganoff. I don't have the traditional ingredients to make it, but I'm going to make it fairly similar, but I'm also going to use some vegetables that are getting ready to go bad that I need to put in there. So I guess you could call this a beef stroganoff, beef and noodles dish or something, but it's gonna mimic beef stroganoff a little bit. So I'll just call it my bastardized version of beef stroganoff. I'm gonna use the top brown we had on Saturday night, leftovers from that. So we'll get started. Alright, so I'm gonna make my my bastardized version of beef stroganoff here. I have I'm gonna start off with about a third of a stick of butter. Put that in the hot pan, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the vegetables now. I had a bell pepper that was wilting and it needed to be cooked, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that in there. I know that that's not typically in beef stroganoff, but this is my version. And, this is not going to be your average beef stroganoff. It's going to be my version of beef stroganoff. And I hope it turns out good. If it doesn't, it'll still be good. So, anyway, so we're going to salt this down. Or not salt it down, but saute it down a little bit. We got it on medium heat right now. Let this melt down. Just until everything's tender and... I don't have any fresh garlic, but I'm going to season the gravy with it when I make it with a little bit of granulated garlic. And also, I don't have any beef stock, so I used 2 beef bouillons, which I know is a no-no. But, again, I'm using what I have. So, things don't have to be perfect to be good. Wait until you see what I'm going to use in place of sour cream. So anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So anyway, let this stuff saute down and get soft, and then we'll come back with the next step. All right, the vegetables have been, or the peppers and onions have been cooking for a few minutes here. They're starting to get a nice little color on them. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of flour. It's probably, I don't know, 2-3 tablespoons. It's going to act as a thickening agent for our gravy. So my intention here is I want to make the gravy and have everything ready, and then put the leftover London broil, or excuse me, not London broil, but the top round steak that we had on Saturday in here as the meat for the beef stroganoff. So this is going to be a mock beef stroganoff made out of leftovers and vegetables that need to be cooked. So we're going to cook this, cook the flour down. We need to turn this down a little bit. We don't want to burn the flour, but just let the rawness come out of the flour or cook out. This probably take, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. So let's get that. Let that cook, and we'll be right back. Okay, so your flour is cooked enough when you start to smell like a little nutty type smell. So what we're going to do is add in a drained can of mushrooms. Again, this will be better with fresh mushrooms, but I don't have fresh mushrooms, so we're using canned mushrooms. And then I'm adding in 2 cups of beef broth out of the bouillons that I mentioned before. And normally it's better just to slowly add that in there, but it's going to simmer for a little while, so I don't really care. Stir it in there, and it should thicken up fairly soon once it comes to a boil. Now, I haven't seasoned it with salt and pepper yet. Because I'm replacing sour cream with a cream cheese dip that my daughter made yesterday. She started off with a block of cream cheese and mixed in granulated garlic, salt, and pepper. And we ate it on crackers, and it was actually very, very good. And we have about a half of it left. And what I did to reconstitute it a little bit was I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I put the liquid from the mushrooms in it to kind of loosen it up so I can pour it in here in a minute. But what I want to do is let this gravy tighten up a little bit, and then once it tightens up, I'm going to pour in her the dip that like I said, I mixed the liquid from the mushrooms in with. Normally you would use either creme fraiche or sour cream for this, but there's plenty of seasoning in the dip. That's, you know, again, we'll final season it, you know, right before we eat. So that's pretty much thick enough. So let me go ahead and mix up this dip that she's made. It's going to look really loose right now. Like I said, I added the liquid from the mushrooms in it, but it's got plenty of salt, plenty of pepper, and plenty of garlic, which will be a nice little touch to this, and most likely prevent me from seasoning anymore. So I'm going to add this in there, and this will be our substitute for sour cream again, or creme fraiche, whatever you want to use. So right now we have this on medium heat, and so I'm going to mix this in. It's a little lighter than I wanted it to. I wanted it to be a little bit darker, but that's okay. It'll still be all right. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to add the meat, which is already cooked. It's the London broil, the salted London broil we did on Saturday, the leftovers from that. So I'm going to bring this to a boil and make sure all the cream cheese is melted down in this. And once it comes to a boil, I'm going to drop the meat in, let it come back to a boil, and turn the heat on low. You know, because the meat's already cooked. All we need to do is warm it through. So as you can tell, this has already come back up to a simmer. And what I've done is cut up the top round into little slices. And as you can tell, it's perfectly medium rare. So when I drop it in here, we'll basically, like I said, just want to warm it through, and it'll be done. And we'll final season it when we're ready to eat. But just mix this in here, and then we'll have our beef stroganoff. And right before it's time to eat, we're going to make some noodles, some egg noodles, and butter them and salt and pepper them, and put this on top. And that'll be my bastardized version of beef stroganoff made with pretty much leftovers. The leftover dip from my daughter on over the weekend, and the leftover beef on Saturday. So this, I honestly, I think I would rather cook with leftovers than fresh meat or fresh food half the time, because you really get to use your imagination when using leftovers, and you know, it's also a good use for leftovers, so you don't waste food. So we're gonna let this. It's already come back up to a simmer, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach back here and turn the heat down to low, and then we're going to get our noodles going. And let me go ahead and taste this real quick. It's okay that I'm tasting off the big spoon. It's just me and Catherine eating, so I don't think she minds if Daddy tastes it off the spoon. So let's see what it tastes like right now. It's actually very good. I'm not going to add any other seasoning to it. Maybe a touch of pepper, but it's surprisingly good. And as you can tell, I mean, it even looks good too. I surprised myself with this. So anyway, we're gonna go get our noodles going, and we'll come back with some plated pics for y'all. All right, there we go. My concocted beef stroganoff with buttered egg noodles, and then we're gonna top this with a little bit of chives. There you go. That's leftover made beef stroganoff. Let's see if we can get a bite here with a little bit of everything on it. There's mushroom, an onion, a noodle, piece of bell pepper. There we go. There's a bite of it. Let's see what it tastes like now. Not too daggone bad. Not really sure I'd change anything about it. So next time you have leftovers laying around your house, use your imagination and just figure out something to do with them instead of throwing them away or feeding them to the dog. All right, thanks for watching.
Good night, America.